Oh, folks, it's Dargarth, the gamer Redneck. We're gonna do a let's play of Crime and Punishment, Sherlock Holmes. And I played this game. It's actually a pretty good game. I like the little detective games there. It's actually unique. It's not that very long of a game, but I think it's well worth its money and all. So let's get this thing started and let's play this thing. So in this game, you're actually playing Sherlock Holmes, and you got Watson with you. Uh, we're gonna do some things in here, show you some trophies and stuff, how to get some of the trophies. Uh, just to see how it goes here. Our first case is the fate of Black Peter. Oh, good lord.
Holmes!
Shooting again.
Holmes, will you stop that?
Hell, we gotta dodge the bullets. I'm not trying to get to Holmes.
Silly man. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Cocky little hunter. Whoever did the voice on this, she did a pretty good job. I was actually looking at that.
Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Yeah. Alright. First thing it does, apparently. We'll go get dressed. So you come in here and you got little things here, you got makeup. You can actually, change things here. Change his hairstyle. Make him bald. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Sherlock Holmes. And change the suits. Get his Sherlock Holmes hat back on him. Oh, okay, so it's saying I can't put my hat on. Oh well. Right. One other thing you want to do, well, he's not here, but I'll show you later. So we push the square button here, and you got little tabs here. This is your map, basically, of England. Your evidence, documents you find, dialogue, souvenirs. I have to check what echoes are again, and the characters you meet. So we want to go to the map. We want to go to Baker's Lane. Or Baker Street, I mean. I don't know, I just clicked that thing. Why is it not? Oh, Woodsman Lane. I don't know what. I'm out my mind here. I wonder it wouldn't take you to pick. There's a lot of loading screens of him in the carrot, so the loading screens are pretty short at some points, and sometimes a little bit longer.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
By pushing the R2 button, yeah, my camera on this thing. You hit the R2 button here, and it makes him run.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
And one thing you do want to do here is you see this little icon with the square button. You want to actually, this is for trophy wise. You want to inspect people. You're trying to find items that highlight. Sometimes it's items and objects. I'm missing something here. Dargarth house. And it's got a character portrait, so you kind of get an idea with things. So we're gonna ask this lady questions here. Whoops! Oh, I did the wrong thing. Exit out.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
You see this other icon? Well, okay, that's not gonna do it now. I gotta get this camera view going here. Alright, you see a little evidence.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Examine things. Wow, I'm just having a really bad time with this camera thing right now.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Now what you're doing is you're checking these things. You got a couple different functions.
Scratches are fresh.
One is like a...
Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Like I was saying here earlier, you got two different functions. You have one, the right one, which basically lets you look at certain things in this black and white feature here. And the other one is imagining items here. So it's kind of useful. You get to use them here and there in different cases.
What a terrible way to die.
Okay, so we're going to do our investigation. So we're going to go with the dead body first here.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. This wooden handle is plain and solid.
You can rotate the items and stuff.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Now, the one thing about this game, though, is you literally have to find all the clues.
The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack.
It's possible that, if you don't get all the clues and all the hints and stuff, you can come up with the wrong conduction.
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
And usually, once you find all the clues possibly in the area, it usually does that. It'll automatically. We're gonna get to that later.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
It says, when you find things like this as an object of interest, usually there's some information you're missing or some puzzle, a part of the puzzle, so you'll have to probably come back to this area again. Check the table.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but
Hey, you got little mini puzzles in here.
struck my associations in one picture.
You gotta figure out the puzzles, so hopefully I don't take very long to. Figure you gotta get it lined up right. get difficult on these things. Gotta get rid of this. There we go.
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
That took shorter time than I did the first time. Alright, another function you have here is what we're about to do here. We're gonna get some more evidence. Oop. Almost got something.
Hammerfest. Dundee. It's a whaling map.
We're gonna do one more thing here. There's some footprints here. Don't worry about you walking all over them or not. If I can get them to. Well, apparently it's not wanting me to do this, so it can be a little difficult. There we go.
These boots don't match the footprints. These footprints appear to be quite large.
Okay, and here's the function I'm talking about now. You see it? You got like a little star looking circle deal thing with the triangle. I'm gonna do that real quick. What you gotta do is you gotta click on these and try to make a solution here. So
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
okay, and it says organize an ambush. But before I do that, there's one thing else I want to do before we decide to do that real quick. And I'll show you why here. You see this things with a dialogue on it here? It it means you gotta go find somebody to question. And one of the things that popped up was a well-kept garden, and we want to try that here with her and find out something. Like I said, you got to pretty much.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Like I said, you got to find pretty much all the evidence to find out who the real culprit is, or who the real person who committed the crime.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There is a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
Alright. So, so we look at that evidence, and you see that we don't, you no longer have any more questions, so we're gonna eventually get used to sensitive, so we're gonna set up an ambush. Oh, I'm sitting there looking all over the place. Ah, God, this mirror is, I'm telling you, this thing's, I gotta fix this here. Let me talk to, Lestrade here.
Well, Mr.
Yes.
Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us. This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Alrighty. Eventually, I'll get used to this camera view thing. I might have to adjust it next time I play it.
Shh! Did you hear that?
Oh, what we got here?
I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there! All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here, waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
This game saves automatically, so we're gonna stop this right here, and we'll pick it back up from there. But there's, like I said, this game has unique features in it and everything, and I really enjoy detective movies, detective games as well as JRPGs. So we'll see y'all later, and we'll get this video up so y'all can view it.